Sweet Steve.
I know he wants to be in it. He's not quite sure. He's got one foot in.
He wants more of those ear scratches I gave him. That's what I think.
Well, why are you withholding, Brian Phillippe? Scratch his ears if that's
what
he wants.
I had to face this way, cat.
You can face this way, but and now he's turned his back on you.
Yeah,
Great,
yeah,
well done, good job.
yeah.
So
I get that a lot.
I'm sure you never get that. No, you never like introduce yourself and someone's like, I think this happens with celebrity, with notoriety. Now, why would it be that people think that famous people are jerks?
I don't know. Maybe because some behave that way. People sometimes, if they fear rejection, they want to be the ones to reject first.
Prejection.
Prejection, yes. Did we just make that up?
We just made that up.
It's pretty good.
We're coining it.
It's pretty good.
Never underestimate me.
You're in a new show called Shooter where you do your own stunts.
I do, all of them.
Why not just let someone else do it?
Because I'm a little bit crazy. I'm a producer on the series, and I told the rest of our producers once we started going down the road of making it that I wanted that to be a calling card of the show. I wanted people to see me doing things that were shocking and maybe a little scary. I also think audiences now kind of look for the cut. They look for the stunt person. They look for what's fake and what's not. And I wanted to make sure that they didn't see anything fake.
Having now trained so heavily for the role, do you think you'd ever want that job for real?
No, and certainly not at this age, but I come from a very military family. And I sat in an Army recruiter's office when I was 17 with my buddy who ended up going over to Desert Storm. And so I did think about it for a time. I thought about signing up.
You've had quite a career, right? Starting on television. Your role on a soap opera was really groundbreaking at the time.
It was.
One Life to Live.
I guess we did kind of get off to a rocky start, huh?
There had never been a gay teenager represented on television. And I was 17 when I got that job, so it was kind of a crazy situation to be thrown into. And I also had come from a pretty conservative, I went to like religious schools growing up, so it was kind of a, this is the early 90s. People weren't as accepting. So it was an interesting time to be a teenager myself, sort of learning who I was, and then kind of playing this role that meant a lot to a lot of people, but also was controversial in some circles.
Was it tough socially?
I think I had some insecurities about it maybe because I was a young guy, but then once we started getting fan letters from parents of gay teenagers or from gay teenagers themselves saying that, they had never seen someone on TV that they could relate to and how much they had thought about suicide and how this show made them think differently and made them think positively. That just flipped it for me.
Did your experience with that role change how you viewed your career?
You know what? I think it did. I think it did because once I started getting opportunities after I Know What You Did Last Summer.
We take this to our grave! Let me hear it!
After Cruel Intentions did so well.
Can you imagine what this will do for my reputation?
I really gravitated toward projects that meant something to me socially, like Crash or Stop Loss that I did with Kimberly Pierce, which was about soldiers being forced back into combat against their will.
This president said the war's over, so legally...
Your lawyer's son.
So in some ways, yeah, it did sort of set me off on this path of making choices that weren't really about becoming the big famous movie star and more about what would I like to see made and what may have an impact,
Where do you think the holes are right now in the entertainment landscape? What would be impactful things to make now?
I mean, it's so hard because it's like spray now, There's so many outlets. It's hard to cut through all the noise to make that kind of impact anymore. I'm curious to see if we still can in some regards, Like even something with Crash that won Best Picture in '05, like the social effect that had, and they use it in college classes and they talk about it, this and that. It's hard to know if we'll focus on one movie or one show or one story anymore because there's so much competition out there.
So with all of this sort of heavy stuff, want to do a part that's fun? You want to play Goofy in a movie or something?
I do all the time. I was in MacGruber.
How did you know I was wearing a bulletproof vest?
You're wearing a bulletproof vest?
And we're gonna do MacGruber too. We're about to do the sequel. I'm a comedy nerd. My passions outside of what I do occupationally are hip-hop and comedy. I got to host SNL a few years ago.
It is so great to be here hosting Saturday Night Live.
If you're all about hip hop, why don't you bust a little freestyle
No,
for
I'm
me?
not gonna do that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do that
No,
right now. Yeah,
I
no,
promise.
I think we're gonna do it now.
I
Ready? Here we
promise.
go.
No, I promise.
here, ready?
I promise. Sway. If I'm doing it, it's not happening. It's not happening.
My name is Kat, and we're on Talk Stoop. He's Ryan Phillippe. He's well, what? Really?
I can't sit there for that. I can't sit there for that.
Over. Done. The end.